So you say they can grab those drums, but they, when people come in and play, they can take the drum and play. That was pretty bad.
The revolution will not be televised.
If I like to sit and meditate on what it is I'm going to work on, or I meditate on the canvas, and after a while,
statements out to the people through his work, and you do the same thing, Q. So you're representing very well here on being the Malcolm Jamal Warner tribute. Now we're going to take some time right now to see Malcolm Jamal in action right here on the BAF Solutions Network.
I greet you in the name of the Universal Negro Improvement Association and African Communities League of the World. You may ask, what organization is that? It is for me to inform you that the Universal Negro Improvement Association is an organization that seeks to unite into one solid body the 400 million Negroes of the world, to link up the 15 million Negroes of the United States of America with the 20 million Negroes of the West Indies, the 40 million Negroes of South and Central America, with the 280 million Negroes of Africa, for the purpose of bettering our industrial, commercial, educational, social, and political conditions. As you are aware, the world in which we live today is divided into separate race groups and distinct nationalities. Each race and each nationality is endeavoring to work out its own destiny to the exclusion of other races and other nationalities. We hear the cry of England for the Englishman, of France for the Frenchman, of Germany for the German, of Ireland for the Irish, of Palestine for the Jew, of Japan for the Japanese, of China for the Chinese. We of the Universal Negro Improvement Association are raising the cry of Africa for the Africans, those at home and those abroad. There are 400 million Africans in the world who have Negro blood coursing through their veins, and we believe that the time has come to unite these 400 million people for the one common purpose of bettering their conditions. The great problem of the Negro for the last 500 years has been that of disunity. No one or no organization ever succeeded in uniting the Negro race, but within the last 4 years, the Universal Negro Improvement Association has worked wonders in bringing together in one fold 4 million organized Negroes who are scattered in all parts of the world, being in the 48 states of the American Union, all the West Indian Islands, and the countries of South and Central America and Africa. These 4 million people are working to convert the rest of the 400 million scattered all over the world, and it is for this purpose that we are asking you to join our ranks and to do the best you can to help us to bring about an emancipated race. If anything praiseworthy is to be done, it must be done through unity. And it is for that reason that the Universal Negro Improvement Association calls upon every Negro in the United States to rally to its standards. We want to unite the Negro race in this country. We want every Negro to work for one common object, that of building a nation of his own on the great continent of Africa. That all Negroes all over the world are working for the establishment of a government in Africa means that it will be realized in another few years. We want the moral and financial support of every Negro to make the dream a possibility. Already, this organization has established itself in Nigeria, West Africa, and is endeavoring to do all possible to develop that Negro country to become a great industrial and commercial commonwealth. Pioneers have been sent by this organization to Nigeria, and they are now laying the foundations upon which the 400 million Negroes of the world will build. If you believe that the Negro has a soul, if you believe that the Negro is a man, if you believe the Negro was endowed with the senses commonly given to other men by the Creator, then you must acknowledge that what other men have done, Negroes can do. We want to build up cities, nations, governments, industries of our own in Africa, so that we'll be able to have a chance to rise from the lowest to the highest positions in the African Commonwealth.
And welcome into the room, everybody. Welcome into the room. I am Arnold Penix, aka A. Gregory Harris, and I am the founder and CEO of Arnold Arts LLC. And what we do is provide creative programming for not-for-profits. And I'm working here today with the Black Achievement Fund, and I'm very excited about helping develop their Zoom network. And we definitely are excited about the different programs that we have. And today it's Garvey Theater Thursdays. And the Garvey Studios Talent Development Workshop is housed within that day. And we are definitely working to train our artists with a new age type of acting method. And it's called the astro acting method. As you see my table, for those who don't know, I am a numerologist and astrologist and personologist. I've been in existence for about over 30 years and was known throughout the tri-state area in New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. And I'm a celebrity a life coach to celebrities. And they call and hit me up all the time. I'm quite exhausted by it. But I understand that this is something that was shunned upon and was something that was told in our upbringing that was not of God. And everything is of God. And so the use of the astro acting method deals solely with the fact that we are human seeds, and anytime we were born, just like plants and harvested, we take on certain traits. Say, for example, Aries is the baby, and that's 0 to 7 years old. So people who are born under the sign of Aries are very, very impulsive, and they jump from here to there because they want what they want, and they don't care how they get it. And that's the behavior trait of an Aries. The next one is a Taurian. A Taurian is very, very complacent and very, very strong-willed. Some people call them stubborn, and they want to be and do what they want to do. So you have to be very, very careful how you come at them and ask them to do or participate in anything. They're beautiful people, and they give you a very kind-hearted, ruled by the planet Venus. And you have Gemini. Gemini is the communicator of the zodiac family, and they definitely have an inquisitive mind, very interested in learning about everything and communicating things, sometimes things they shouldn't be communicating, but they communicate everything because that's the sign of communication. And they also have a dual personality. So you have to be very careful because signs of schizophrenia could be a major trait in that zodiac sign. And so be careful. The Cancers are definitely the moon children. They change with the waning of the moon. However, it's very hard to place a Cancerian because they change every moment. And it's very, very difficult to pin them down and find out what they're really thinking at that particular time. But they are kind-hearted people, and they give you the shit off their back. But they're not to be played with because they have a streak that once they love deeply, and they also can ghost you quite quickly after they've done everything they could do. Then you move into Leo, and Leo is definitely the person who wants to protect, and they need a lot of attention, and they're very, very, they're leaders, and as you know, the lion takes care of the whole pride of Africa. And but the sad thing about it, once the lion is aging and has to move on, then he just moves on lonely by himself and kind of disappears into the jungle, while new, more younger lion takes over the pride and leads the whole and protects. And that's what happens with a lot of times with Leos. It's hard to become the president of the United States. I'll give you an example. Hard to become the president of the United States. We had 2 Leo presidents, to my knowledge, and that's Barack Obama and of course Bill Clinton. And as you see, that definitely had a lot of charisma and a lot of leadership abilities. Then you move into Virgo. That's when the energy becomes a little bit nervous energy, because they're in the desperation. They're not as confident as Leo. Leo's very confident because Leo is the complete man and complete woman. Like Cancer is always they're 21 to 28 years old, so they're always sought after by the headhunters, and they always have the potential to be great, but they're always in this potential mode. But Leo is there. So Leo is there, confident, all of that. This is who he is. He is the star. We have like one of our artists here, he's a Leo, and he's very confident. His name is Kalunji. He's very confident, and he did this beautiful mural that I'm standing behind. It can't get more confident than that. I mean, my goodness, look how wonderful the work is, and all of our historical figures and our iconic musicians are in this piece. That's a perfect example of someone who is very, very clear and confident about his abilities. But you get into Virgo, and Virgos become nervous, and everything has to be perfect, and they go through anxieties, they go through a lot of worry, they suffer from ulcers, believe it or not. Because they want everything to be so perfect, because they want to have it like, they want to be very wealthy and successful. I guess Tyler Perry is a good example of that, because he has a big, huge studio, but he's hands-on in every department of his operation, including his script writing, his camera work. Everything has to be under his jurisdiction without using other elements to, as they say, bake a cake. It takes more than one person to make a cake. It takes a whole collaboration to make a wonderful artistic project. Then you have Libra, and Libra is this sign of love and a sign of diplomacy, they claim. But if they don't have it their way, then you see a totally different, the smile goes away, and the extended charm that they give is very superficial, because they want what they want, and if they don't get what they want, you see a different type of personality. But they're very kind-hearted and loving, but at the same time, they treat everyone the same, which is a good thing, and it's also a bad thing, because people think they are special when everyone is special to Libra, which is a good trait. That's why they become the leaders of a lot of mass organizations and movements, because everyone followed. Kamala Harris is a perfect example of being a Libra, and she caught the attention of the whole country and running for president, okay? Then we go into Scorpion. Scorpio is the darkest of the zodiacs, and they're investigative, very, very into their internal thoughts, and they don't believe it until they see it, and if you do tell them the truth, they're still gonna investigate. But at the same time, their whole behavior is extreme. From zero, they can love you deeply, and then they could not care about you at all. But at the same time, they're volatile, so it's best to ease out of the relationship. And of course, they have the reputation of being quite a ladies' man and ladies' woman, okay? And then you go into, I think, Sagittarius, yes. And Sagittarius is into exploring and trying all things. They believe in love, and they fall in love, and they seek love, and they are the anything goes type of people. People who believe that whatever's clever. You know, a lot of our famous comedians are Sagittarius. They're kind of direct and blunt in their responses. One good example of that is Monique, the comedian, and they don't let things go. They really don't let it go. They get upset about something, and they will beat a dead horse to death, as the term says, and they're very, very vocal about what they dislike and what they don't believe in. But at the same time, they are not the innocents. They fill the prisons, okay? Because they will do just about anything to make it. And one of my least favorites, I think they're it's a little bit much for me personally, but as an actor, if I have to play one, I definitely would pick up the traits. But they believe in coaching, and that's one of the positive traits is that they will work with you. They're great teachers, and they give you the best they've got. But if they see that their time and their efforts is not being, I guess, say, rewarded, or it's not penetrating, then they'll drop you like a hot potato and go on to the next. But they make great coaches in Little League and football and all those type of things, and love teaching children and doing all those wonderful things. But at the same time, when they see that it's not getting better, they'll just move on and find the next pupil and the next student. Okay, and that's not a bad thing. It's a good thing, because why keep casting your pearls before swine? I had to learn. That's something you can learn from Sagittarius, because they believe in they're top notch in whatever they do, and they're singing, their performance level, and they're funny people because they can take real life situations. Like Richard Pryor is another example, but Richard Pryor did everything. Barry Gordy is another example with Motown, but Barry Gordy did everything to make his organization Motown the top rating music in the company. Sort of like Empire. That's a good example of Lucius Lyons. the character Lucius Lyons was this perfect example of Sagittarius. Then you have Aquarius. Now, Aquarius is very, very interesting because they believe in futuristic and technical things that they live for the future. Sometimes they have to be grounded and let them realize that we're living in the present right now. But a lot of times they're in the clouds and they're very futuristic people. But they're very, very smart. They're the smartest, very intelligent, geniuses of the zodiac. I happen to be a master number 11, so I vibrate as an Aquarius, and I'm pretty smart. I have to say to myself, not too much slips past me. I just learned to not to speak on it because it all will work itself out in the end, and I'll always end up the victor anyway because I'm confident of my talents and my abilities. But that's what Aquarius does. But Aquarius gets involved in a lot of stuff they shouldn't get involved in, but they learn. But it's best to stay on the righteous side because they can also be on the corrupt side. And stay away from alcoholic beverages. Aquarius loves the liqueurs, okay? And then, of course, we go into Pisces, and they live in a dream world. And the Pisces culminates every zodiac sign from Aries on up until Aquarius. Pisces believe there's good in everyone. But at the same time, we all Pisces will make up some type of premonition or dreams. They have dreams, and they live in a fantasy world. A lot of times, they're very, very quiet and pensive, but at the same time, they can go either way. Either way the wind blows. If they're with a good person, they behave as a good person. If they're with a bad person, they behave as a bad person. They're ruled by water. So water means they'll flow, ebbs and flow. They'll flow right in and out of any situation. And so they're very, very hard to believe because they're considered not so truthful and almost con artists. And that's basically, if you look at 2,500 years of the age of Pisces. Now we're moving into the age of Aquarius. If you look to see what the age of Pisces has done, my goodness, they've created all types of religious orders and groups, and they have spun a web of faith and belief and something that really it's not real, okay? But they have spun that for 2,500 years for their own agenda. And that's why I'm so happy for the end of the age of Pisces, and we move into the age of Aquarius, where everyone's accepted. You see that with people's lifestyles. You see people not hiding anymore. You see people coming out, the term coming out and being who they really are, which is a wonderful thing because in the age of Pisces, everybody was hiding. So now you see more people coming out and dealing with their sexuality, and it's just Aquarius is a wonderful time because Aquarius, people in the age of Aquarius, everyone is accepted for who they are and what they are. But the age of Pisces, you had certain rules and guidelines, and you had to hide who you really are. And that's what happened in the age of Pisces. But now we're in the age of Aquarius, so that's why I have this table. I have my hourglass, when people come for readings, I just put the timer on because they'll talk to me forever. And so you have that, and I have the birthday book. So if you want to know your birthday and who's on your birthday and relationships, these are two most important things that you have to learn in your life. Know who you are. The birthday book helps you find out who you are, and the relationship book helps you find out who you should partner with, because partnership is key for success in life. Okay, yes, we like to be alone and want to go do things by ourselves, but you have to find the right tribe and the right team of people in order to build success and build wealth and because nothing's great if you can't share it with it. You can have all the wealth in the world, but if you have no one to share it with, what good is it? After so many trips and so many cars and so many five-star restaurants, so what? Okay, but if you can share it with someone, the relationship book helps you find that out. But first, before you can find a relationship with someone, you have to know who you are, and that's what the birthday book does. And I attest to this. I live my life by it. I'm very successful because of it, to the point that I'm very reclusive, and once my work is done, I move on to another situation. But my work is not done here, because I'm here to help you understand. And even if you don't become an artist or an actor, you can become a person who knows thyself, to thine own self be true. Okay, so we're going to move on. That's the whole astral acting method. And then we're going to move into the theater history. For those who don't know, I am a trained actor. I'm trained in the classics, contemporary. As you see, I'm playing Marcus Garvey and everything of that nature. The next one is the Negro Ensemble Company. We've been running the series because you need to know that it was a premier black theater company. And if you haven't seen the series, just go back and check out some of the other Garvey Theater Thursdays, and you'll be able to understand the significance of the Negro Ensemble Company, which I am a member and alumni now. And I was head of the traveling theater company in New York City, in which we toured the tri-state area. And I had to write shows for grades 6 to 12, and even created a hip opera, I call it, Love is Tough, in which I wrote a whole hip hop opera about drug dealers and the death of one of the young people, and the children, well, I call them children, but the teens loved it. So let's take a look at the series continues with the Negro Ensemble Company. And I'm Arnold Penix, and you're watching the BAF Solutions Network, Garvey Theater Thursdays. Let's go.
On April 4th, 1968, 4 months after the premiere of Song of the Lusitanian Bogey, Martin Luther King, winner of the Nobel Peace Prize, was assassinated. His murder touched off riots, looting, and waves of disorder in more than 120 cities in the United States. The era of nonviolent protest and race relations had ended. In the midst of this near revolution, the Negro Ensemble Company returned from its tour of Europe to confront a chorus of criticism concerning its purpose, its function, and even its name. It was accused of not being a true black company because it was financed by the white Ford Foundation, because it was located in a multiracial neighborhood instead of Harlem or Bedford-Stuyvesant, and because it had produced the work of white playwrights. It was suspect for its continued association with its white administrator, Gerald Crone, and it was labeled Uncle Tom for retaining the word Negro in its title rather than the now preferred black.
The Negro Ensemble was rather more conventional, not in a negative sense, but doing plays that they were trying to, I think, attract both a black and white audience, not just a black audience. That's my surmisal. First of all, because of their location, and secondly, because of the kind of plays they were doing.
We didn't spend a lot of time telling white people how wrong they were. I think a lot of them already knew that in the 60s. That was being done by a lot of other people. We didn't feel that that was necessary. What we wanted to do was to show what we were about. We wanted to share some images that were not being shown anyplace else. We wanted to show conflicts that had nothing to do with racial conflicts.
We felt very, very strongly that the way to do it was the way we were doing it. There were other theater companies started by and administered by just people just as talented and just as dedicated as we were, but with different philosophies as to how to go about building and sustaining a black cultural institution in these times.
The play that highlighted the NEC's second season spoke to the vision which had always animated the company. It was by a contemporary black American. Its subject was not middle-class ambitions, but working-class reality as experienced by millions of blacks living in the nation's ghettos. And it had been shunned by all the established theatrical producers until it found a home at the NEC. The author was Lonnie Elder. The play was Ceremonies and Dark Old Men.
Which I started.
Everybody dies, Adele. This whole place was built for us to die in. But you bite, you scratch, you kick, you do anything to stay alive.
Yes, you bite, you scratch, you kick, you steal. But still nothing changes. Just as I was doing, coming back here thinking that I could help Mama overcome the troubles in her life.
Adele, I'm sick and tired of hearing about your sacrifices. You came back here because you had no place else to go either. You got scared too young, too soon. Mama was gonna die anyway, and you knew it.
Yes, I knew it. The very first day I came home from school, I took one look into her eyes. I knew it. And so I waited, thinking maybe I could get back to school, maybe find someone to love, or maybe just float out into the world and let whatever was gonna happen, happen. But God, she took so long to die. And when she finally did, I knew what it was that made her so inexhaustible. I got so close into what she was as a woman, I wanted to be like her. And so I found myself doing as she done, taking care of 3 grown men, trying to shield them from the danger that waits for them beyond that door. But who the hell ever said every black woman had to be a damn savior?
We were on tour with...
Okay, we're going to stop right there. Whoever said a black woman had to be a damn savior? And this play, I started this play at North Carolina A&T State University, and we went to Washington, D.C. as the champions in theater. North Carolina A&T Theater Department became an award-winning theater company with our performance of Ceremonies in Dark Old Men. And I was in the role of the father who was an ex-vaudeville entertainer who was, I had a lot of lines to learn. I got cussed out with notes and everything. So one day I was living off campus and I just buckled down in my apartment that I was living, that I got a chance to see it at the homecoming. It got new sliding and paneling and everything. It looks wonderful. But I got into the role as a Parker, and the next thing you know, we were in Washington D.C. at the is it the Lincoln Center? Yeah, something like that. The Kennedy Center? Yeah, one of those. And we A&T students were there performing, and I'll never forget. The critic said, "Well, you know, where did you get the vaudeville entertainer? Where did he come from? Because he really made us believe that he really would seem like he was a real vaudeville entertainer. Where did you find him?" And the students were just laughing and giggling and giggling. And she said, "Well, what's so funny?" They said, "Well, he's sitting right in front of you." And I was sitting right there in front of looking at. She said, "You played that part?" And it was the greatest compliment I could ever gotten as an actor. So because I really studied the fact that he was an ex-tap dancer who couldn't dance anymore. So one of the character traits that I utilized is that when at the top of the play, I'm coming down into the cellar where I would just play checkers with my boys in the barbershop with the older men, and I would just rug my legs and get up and then I would just come on down into the barbershop. And man, I tell you, it was a wonderful, wonderful thing. And so this is what character development is all about. I was in my 20s, playing someone who was in his late 50s. Now I'm 39. Go get that. Anyway, we're gonna take a time to get into meditation with Silva. You had to, in order to do that type of work, you had to concentrate and have some type of peace within your soul. And the Silva method is definitely helps you manifest whatever you want and whatever situation you want in your life. So let's listen to Silva and his meditation lesson. So get ready to get into it. All right, students, BAF members out there.
To improve mental relaxation, at level 2, practice visualizing tranquil and passive scenes. To enter the basic plane level 1, mentally repeat and visualize the number 1 several times. You are now at level 1, the basic level that you are learning to use for a purpose, any purpose you desire. To enter deeper, healthier levels of mind, practice with the countdown deepening exercises. To deepen, count downward from 25 to 1, or from 50 to 1, or from 100 to 1. When you reach the count of 1, you will have reached a deeper, healthier level of mind, deeper than before. You will always have full control and complete dominion over your senses and faculties at all levels of the mind, including the outer conscious level. The best time to practice the countdown deepening exercises is in the morning when you wake up. Remain in bed for at least 5 minutes practicing the countdown deepening exercises. The second best time to practice is at night, when you are ready to retire. The third best time to practice is at noon after lunch. 5 minutes of practice is good, 10 minutes is very good, 15 minutes is excellent. To practice once a day is good, 2 times a day is very good, and 3 times a day is excellent. If you have a health problem, practice for 15 minutes 3 times a day. To come out of any level of the mind, mentally count to yourself from 1 to 5 and tell yourself that at the count of 5 you will open your eyes, be wide awake, feeling fine and in perfect health, feeling better than before. Then proceed to count slowly from 1 to 2, then to 3, and at the count of 3, mentally remind yourself that at the count of 5, you will open your eyes, be wide awake, feeling fine and in perfect health, feeling better than before. Proceed to count slowly to 4, then 5, at the count of 5, and with your eyes open, mentally tell yourself, I am wide awake, feeling fine and in perfect health, feeling better than before, and this is so. To help you enter a deeper, healthier level of mind, I am going to count from 10 to 1. On each descending number, you will feel yourself going deeper, and you will enter a deeper, healthier level of mind. 10, 9, feel going deeper. 8, 7, 6, deeper and deeper. 5, 4, 3, deeper and deeper. 2, 1. You are now at a deeper, healthier level of mind, deeper than before. You may enter a deeper, healthier level of mind by simply relaxing your eyelids. Relax your eyelids. Feel how relaxed they are. Allow this feeling of relaxation to flow slowly downward throughout your body, all the way down to your toes. It is a wonderful feeling to be deeply relaxed, a very healthy state of being. To help you enter a deeper, healthier level of mind, I am going to count from 1 to 3 and cause a sound with my fingers. At that moment, you will project yourself mentally to your ideal place of relaxation. I will then stop talking to you, and when you next hear my voice, 1 hour of time will have elapsed at this level of mind. 1, 2, 3. Project yourself mentally to your ideal place of relaxation until you hear my voice again. After I stop talking to you and when you hear my voice again, you will take a deep breath, relax, and go deeper. Relax. Relax. Take a deep breath and go deeper. The difference between genius mentality and lay mentality is that geniuses use more of their minds and use them in a special manner. You are now able to use more of your mind and to use it in a special manner. The following are beneficial statements, which you may occasionally repeat.
All right, that's the Silva method, and definitely you can check out the other techniques he has given us through the other series that we have done before this one. And definitely welcome to the Garvey Theater Thursdays, Garvey Studios Talent Development Workshop. We'll also welcome Drums, Jones, and Dreams at this time in order to let us give us a sense of relaxation on a more current men of color, and that definitely is what I like to focus on, and with techniques. And this is the new generation here, so I definitely wants to have him share some techniques he's learned, and he's got some new stuff going. What's going on?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. Well, shout out to my mom, Minister Julie Gordon. She's been helping out with the Center Sunday, and she always brings in a great spirit. So we just had a few things that made me get into a meditative state. We watched the movie, and then we also watched, the documentary, and then we also watched Silva Method. So I want to bring something that'll spark you up a little bit. But this is how I actually like to wake up. So I actually do my meditations, and then I stretch and do Qigongs, and then I like to get into the vocals, the affirmations, saying affirmations while I'm on my way to work. So today, one of the ways that you can work on your vocals is by doing group impromptu speaking. So the way that we're gonna do this, it's like scatting.
Okay.
You know, it's gonna be like jazz. So it's like a good way to get your day started with some jazz. And we're gonna just going through 2-bar stanzas, okay? So this will help you with your knowledge of what the bars are, what the stanzas are inside of the music. So we count to 4 in a bar. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, and then it switches, okay? So I'll explain. So little jazzy beat, one of the languages of jazz. All right, 1, 2, and switch. 2, okay, so that's how it's gonna be shared on and off. So I'd love to invite you, Brother Arnold. We're gonna just go through, and then you can have any different rhythms. So this will also help you be creative. It'll help you with rhythm. It'll help you to loosen up those mouth muscles. Okay. And you can make any type of noises. You can go through volume. You can go through tone. And it's just like scatting in jazz. So it's gonna be 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, and
when.
bow, bow. Alright, and
beep, 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 hip, 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 hip. Scoop, doo dee wee da 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 scoop wee, do wee, scoop wee. Skip the doo ba da da doo ba doo ba da doo ba da ba da ba da ba da ba ba. Beep, beep, hip, hip, hip. Beep, beep, ba ba da da doo ba doo da za za. Zee, 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 the diddly doo ba da da dee doo doo da 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 doo da doo 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 da da. Deep ba doop ba doop ba da ba ba ba. Zip ba doop ba doop ba doop ba doop ba doop ba ba. Great, that was great.
Exactly, thank you.
Fantastic.
Yeah, very good, very good. So
Fantastic.
that's a great way to try things at home and have fun with your family. It's a great way to loosen up.
It was very fun, and it's very. Definitely, we did that exercises in music class and vocal class and everything.
Right,
of that
you
nature.
sound like a natural.
Yeah, definitely, we did that and everything. But like I said, we're gonna take a commercial break right now with NBU, the Health and Wealth Company, with David Emanitier. He's definitely someone I look up to. He's a cancer brother, born July 2nd, same day as Meg Evers and Thurgood Marshall, and I'm just so happy that he has created something to empower our people in the spirit of Marcus Messiah Garvey. Take it away, David.
These products that we've actually put together called Alive. And you say, well, David, why do you call the products Alive? Well, because I know there's so many people around the world that are just living. Very few people wake up every single day alive, ready to actually win the day. That's what our products are designed to do: revive, replenish, and renew the body. And it all starts with our superfood juices, ladies and gentlemen. I absolutely fell in love with it the very first time I sampled it. Our manufacturers actually sent me samples, and I said, man, this is a winner. And then when they told me what was actually in the product, I knew that we had a home run. Well, ladies and gentlemen, look at this. All the ingredients here: spirulina, aloe vera, cinnamon bark extract, and ginger root, and green tea, and maca root, right? Some people call that the marriage counselor. This is an incredible product that we have in 2 different flavors: apple beach cherry along with apple cinnamon. And ladies and gentlemen, all you need to do is take a shot in the morning and take a shot in the afternoon. Now, if you really want the whole regimen that we have, you want to actually step into the world of the skin and beauty product that we have called Alive Skin and Beauty. This is a collagen product that literally impacts the body on a whole nother level when it comes to your hair growth and nail growth and helping out your joints and those bones. Your body needs collagen, but we found a way to actually make collagen taste great. Now, just a moment ago, I actually tried something that I'm going to share with you that absolutely blew me away. I tried the Skin and Beauty, the Apple Beach Cherry, and yes, our matcha. You're going to see that later on in the presentation. But ladies and gentlemen, we stepped into recently the world of coffee. And I got involved in the coffee industry years ago. And people say, well, man, you're crazy. I mean, why would you do coffee, right? And I said, well, it's 2.2 billion cups of coffee are consumed every single day. You're talking about the most traded commodity in the world next to oil, the most consumed beverage in the world next to water. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not going anywhere. Whether you're involved in the coffee business or not, people are going to spend money. They're going to spend $3, $4, $5, $6, $7 for a cup of coffee. So why not provide that demand that's already out there in the marketplace? And we found a way to actually make it healthy. This is by far, in my opinion, you may say I'm biased, the healthiest, best tasting coffee on the planet. This is the Alive Cappuccino, ladies and gentlemen. You're talking about a non-GMO, gluten-free, no sugar, no nut, no soy whatsoever in this particular product right here. I am so in love with this coffee. The first time I tried it, I knew that this was going to be the winner in our company. And look what's in it. You're talking about a premium Arabica bean coffee. You're talking about pomegranate and collagen tripeptides and dipeptides, and it's got okra in it. It's got asparagus in it, ladies and gentlemen. It's got pumpkin in it. It's got amino acids in this particular product. You say, well, how did you get 30 different vitamins and minerals all in one product? That's a secret. That's our own formula for us to know. And it's available right now in our company. And recently, we just introduced the ultimate green tea, which is the matcha. And it's one of the best tasting matchas out there in the world. You can drink it hot, you can drink it cold. I just drank it with our apple beach cherry and our apple cinnamon. Absolutely incredible. Look at all the ingredients that are in here. It's helped people when it comes to their weight loss journey, energy, clarity, focus. It's a remarkable product that we put together. Now, if you're paying attention, we put health in what people do every single day. People drink coffee every day. People drink some sort of juice, or their kids do every single day. And guess what? People drink tea every single day. So why not do it with Envision You and actually have your body become even more healthy while drinking what you were going to drink anyway? See, what we've put together here is really second to none. Your health and your wealth right here in one company, and then you can travel around the world.
All right, so now it's time to put it all, thank you, David. Now it's time to put it all together, everybody. And how we put it all together is through working on our craft. And what we're going to be working on is a scene from A Portrait of Marcus Garvey, which is written by yours truly. It's a piece that about Garvey and his life. And King Julian is going to join us, and he's working on the character of the soldier. And I didn't give the soldier a name because I wanted the actors who are training on the piece to be able to incorporate whatever they felt the character should be. So definitely, the scene is the scene in which he leaves his post to go to the facilities, and when he returns, Garvey's life has been threatened by a infiltrator. Same thing happened in the Nation of Islam with Malcolm X. Okay, it was an inside job. All right, so somebody who was part of. So it's difficult to be a leader of one. So you have to have a movement. So you have to be very careful who you have in your inner circle. And in anything, it's best to have 1, 2, or maybe 3 at the most close people in your life. Everyone else are just associates and people you know, and it's another ring, and then a bigger ring, and a bigger ring. But the inner circle, be very careful who you have in your presence. And I say that personally, okay? So here's the scene. And so you have developed a character, King Julian. Tell us about who your character is and where he's from and everything. And so we can start breaking it down.
Yes. So my character is from either Jamaica or somewhere in the Caribbean because he's friends of Garvey in my eyes. Somebody who's up in rank in the whole army of Marcus Garvey's UNIA association, I believe, need to be a friend of Garvey. So that was number one. Somewhat talking to him, and even one point he's like, "Get with the program, Negro." You know,
Mm-hmm.
so it's kind of like, "Hey, come on, like I'm your buddy here. Like I grew up with you. I'm from Jamaica too."
So he's having. So you feel like you know this character, you knew him. Are y'all the same age, or?
No, I believe that Marcus Garvey knew, like they both knew each other. Like I believe that he would be friends with Garvey. Like,
so yeah, that's what I was saying.
Similar in age.
Similar in age. Okay, they're similar in age.
It would be somebody that maybe a little bit older, even because the way he was saying, "Get with the program, Negro." Like
That's another character in the play. That's not the soldier. That's Booker T.
Well, with the soldier, I still know that there would be a part that would be for a Libra. That was the character.
That's the lover, the one who cheats on him. He basically, how I wrote it, he's the one who has an argument with the soon to be his wife, Amy.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So the reason I was thinking about Libra is because because
Libra would do that.
You
Yes.
were mentioning the soldier
character
with the
movement and justice. Okay.
Yeah. Diplomacy. That's
they're very much into diplomacy.
Diplomacy.
Okay, so that's Libra.
Libra, and then I know
peacemakers.
Libra,
they're peacemakers trying to get.
Right. Looking to balance out what's going on with the movement, and also what's going on within the
infrastructure.
Yeah, the infrastructure.
Okay, so he would be concerned about that, and he was definitely, as a Libra, he would definitely try to balance his passion for his work and his passion for his passion.
Right. So, and then there was a part saying, like, I am in agreement, my general. The loss of your life would have been a major tragedy.
Okay.
So I was thinking, okay, that seems like what you were explaining about being a road dog, like how the Libra has a Chinese astrology that
is a dog.
Is the dog.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if that's kind of like, he's a road dog. He's like.
But the dog will bite your hand if the dog is not happy with the master.
So it seemed like he was a little.
That's why they said the term bite the hand that feeds. Mm-hmm. So Marcus was feeding him, but he bit his hand. And how did he bite his hand? Well, later on he find out other things, but.
And then maybe also cussing out Amy too, probably also
In this scene,
there's
yeah.
kind of some attack to Amy,
Yeah.
saying you're just a woman. Like, so one of the things with
And why would he say you're just a woman? Why would you think he would say you're just a woman? What would make a man say you're just a woman?
Well,
in your experience,
I was thinking the first thing that came to mind is the year that this was set place. In the early 1900s, there was more male dominance.
Okay.
So I looked at that aspect, how the year plays, and obviously he's comfortable enough to say that she's just a woman, so he holds some rank and whatnot. But I think maybe I've heard that term, like my way or the highway type of deal, my way or the trailway, how you like to say with Libra.
and and most men at the time, if they had the power, they were paying the bills, they were taking care of the household, they were taking care of her, the woman, and everything. But now when when in the 60s, when women were elevated to this whole women's lib movement, and they were burning their bras and doing all this type of stuff, which really took women from the home and put them into the workplace, not because there was a war, but because they wanted to be equals to men, and they were always equal to men. They just had a different assignment, and I think that's why we have a lot of single women alone with themselves, because they didn't follow the script. Is that the homemaker and the keeping the home safe while the man provided for the home.
Exactly.
So maybe is this what you think his character came from?
Yeah, exactly.
In Jamaica? I've never been to Jamaica.
I've never been to Jamaica either, but I've heard that the Jamaican men are more aggressive and more dominating. So that's another reason why I said he's got to be in close relation with Garvey. He's got to be a Jamaican as well.
Yeah, because of Garvey, why would Garvey put somebody around him that is not in his inner circle, as I mentioned earlier? Right. The people that you hold close are usually the people who betray you, but they're the ones that you know, and they know you. And so he kept this man as his main guard, his main bodyguard. And why would he choose him? Because maybe they had like situations. He was a Jamaican, and so like attract like. Whites want to be around other whites. Blacks want to be around other blacks. Why would he put a man he doesn't know around him?
Right. So the last thing I was thinking about is the relationship with Amy, because you were saying that Libras are very handsome and typically
they could keep vibes. They like to keep the vibes high, but it's very manipulative, because they don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, and so when women, because of their attractiveness and their beauty and their handsomeness or whatever, women want to have more than just a casual encounter. And Libra is not able to provide that, because, once Libra falls in love, it's very serious. But they don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, so they love everybody, and they treat everyone with the same intensity and charm that they would treat anyone. And that causes a lot of jealousy amongst them.
Yeah, so at the end, if you don't know, he's like, "Hey, I am in fault, my general. I ask forgiveness, my queen. I shall return to my post and will let you know when I have a nature call."
So this is a charm. Why would he say that? Okay, because he's trying to be. He was trying to be charming with that.
I think that's normal, because Garvey, after Garvey came back and was like, the question is that you
left your post,
which left me open for attack and loss of my own life.
And that's it.
So it was like,
whatever you say,
it was more important. And he said, "Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. I'm in agreement." And he let him know the African queen is the backbone of the foundation of the African nation. So of course he had to say, "My bad."
Right. How could you wouldn't even be here without the African queen.
Yeah, there was no.
You wouldn't be here without your mother.
Exactly.
You wouldn't know the skeet without your mother.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how could you make this type of statement? And how he covered was and the way you covered it is the way a Libra would cover it. You know, you're born to year the dog personally, so you have to dig deep and find it from nowhere. You would naturally agree, and as a diplomatic way of saying, you know, I will let you guys know, and I'll take it, and that's what a Libra would do.
Right, but then the fact that Amy flirted with him the way she said, like, oh, you don't have to give me a call. You don't have to tell me when you get a call from nature. Just don't leave your post without coverage. And then later on, it says the UNIA soldier exits. Amy and Garvey make eye contact. They laugh aloud, and Amy hugs him around his neck.
Yeah, so
she catches herself. So she's kind of like in a emotional state.
Yeah, because the old Amy, that's her character development. The old Amy is coming out when you say nature call. Ooh, I know about nature.
Right.
Okay, and I know how nature rises.
Right.
Okay, right. So definitely that kind of triggered the soldier, like, don't play. All right, don't play with me. Oh, really? So then Libra is undercover anyway. So he may not have shown that in guard, but he kind of maybe did just a cut quick with his eye. Okay, something here, something here. Because I've known Libras to stop in the street when a woman catches their eye. I've had a few Libra friends, and we would walk, and next thing you know, all the woman has to do is look in there, and then they'll try, track. It's the hunt. It seems the hunt is more so important than the catch. It's the chase. I noticed for the sign of Libra. They love chasing, getting numbers and things like that. They might throw the numbers on, they might lose the number. It's the moment of that exciting flirtation. And that's what happened between the soldier and Amy. At that quick little moment, then he catches and he smiles, and there it goes. Okay, well that's our class today. As they say, that's our workshop for today. I am excited about the whole opportunity to be able to train the BAF members in personology using the astral acting method. I am very excited about that and very happy that Garvey Studios is going to be located here in East Point, and I'm excited about the possibilities of having you guys come and be a part of the whole building of our Black History Studios here in East Point. And that's our show, and that's our time. Garvey Theater Thursday. See you next time. See you next week. And always stay black and stay proud. Peace.
Shit, I'm black and I'm proud.
The revolution will not be televised.
Peace. I like to sit and meditate on what it is I'm going to work on, or I meditate on the canvas. And after a while,
Statements out to the people through his work, and you do the same thing, Q. So you're representing very well here on being the Malcolm Jamal Warner tribute. Now we're going to take some time right now to see Malcolm Jamal in action right here on the BAF Solutions Network.